Hi friends, and welcome to another episode of Meet Me at the 313 Grill and Kitchen. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. Of course, Saturday afternoons in our household is college day. We're supporting on our North Carolina State Wolfpack college football, so go Pack. They're winning today, so we are in a good mood here at our house today. So what we're going to do tonight, folks, is we are going to grill some steaks. Now, I apologize we have not gotten to a good steak episode yet, but due to some issues with our grill, we got everything fixed up now. This episode, we're going to do it on the gas grill version. The next episode, we're doing it on the charcoal version. So tonight, we're going to do ribeye steaks on the gas grill. There's many kinds of steaks. You know, our house particularly, our favorite is ribeyes, and sometimes we'll do New York strips, T-bones. Maybe every blue moon we'll do a filet mignon and some other ones too. But tonight we're going to do ribeyes. So the first thing we're going to do, the longest that's going to take to cook is our baked potatoes. So the first thing that we are going to do is prep our baked potatoes to cook. And what you want to do is turn your oven on to 350. You want to let it cook for a couple of hours because baked potatoes, the longer you cook them, the better they're going to be. So we forgot to get one thing out of here. So this is how we do our baked potatoes at our house. So what you want to do first is you want to get some cooking spray and get some tin foil. But the first thing that we want to do is before you cook potatoes, always wash potatoes. So we're going to take one potato at a time and we're going to start cleaning off your potatoes just like that. Now they don't have to be dry, but enough to wash them before we put them in the oven. And we're going to let that go. Now we are going to take one each, and we're just kind of pat dry it. We don't want to work. Just kind of something like this. We don't want to leave a lot of water on there. That of course make the potato taste kind of not so good. Dry it as you can, pat dry it. So now we're going to take our tin foil. Move over here so you can see what we're doing. Let's move Avery's we'll do it that way. Okay. We're going to take our tin foil. Get it out of here first of all. And you know what? We are out of tin foil. So, we're going to bake it. We've got enough for one baked potato. So, sometimes they have little bloopers. So, take one tin foil and the rest we're going to put on the baking dish and we're going to bake it in the oven. And you want to take a knife and poke some holes so it'll cook evenly. So we'll have one baked potato cooked in tin foil and the other we'll have to improvise. And sometimes that's okay. If you're out of the simplest ingredient you need, this is okay too. So we'll have one potato baked in tin foil. You know what? That ain't gonna be enough. Let's just put them on a baking dish. We'll cook them that way. Very simple. So if you're out of tin foil, this is okay. I would take a little baking dish. And you want to do this just spray it down with Pam. Always spray it down with Pam. And we're going to go ahead and you still want to poke holes in the potato so it can get the correct amount of moisture in there that it needs. Okay. We're going to put these in the oven. We're going to put just a tad bit of salt over the potato. We don't want to put a lot, but just enough to give it some flavor. Okay. All right, these are ready to go, so we're going to put these in the oven. Again, 2.5 to 3 hours. Again, the longer in the oven, the better they're going to taste. So we're going to let these go. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out our steaks. Now, here's a key point to cooking the perfect steak. You want to leave your steaks sitting out at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours, close to room temperature. That way, the steak will cook tender, it'll be a very tender steak. So I'll show you what we've got here with these steaks. We've got some fresh cut ribeyes from our local grocery store. I went on ahead and started marinating these with meat tenderizer and pepper. So now what we're going to do while these get to room temperature is we're going to take a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Now you may marinate these however way you feel led to marinate your own steaks. But what I like to do is I show you here meat tenderizer and salt and pepper. Go ahead and let that sit for a little bit. And of course at the time of marinating we were out of Worcestershire sauce. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of add it on in. Just like that. And I'm going to put our lid on it. Just like that. Doesn't she look good, folks? And we're going to let this sit outside for the next couple of hours to get it to room temperature before we put it on the grill. So, that's the simplest way to prepping for this delicious steak dinner. We're also going to put on the grill tonight some barbecue bread. I've got a little trick of doing this tonight, so you don't want to miss this. So, when we return, we're going to get busy. Let's grill. Okay, folks, so we're getting close to completion on our, getting ready to put our steaks on the grill. Potatoes are cooking nicely. So one of the things we're going to be doing now is we're going to cook some asparagus with your steak. Now, some of you may like the usual baked potato in a salad or baked potato and steamed vegetables or whatever. My wife likes salad, and I like asparagus. So we ended up getting some frozen asparagus because I was actually cheaper at the supermarket than the real asparagus. But most of the time, I'll buy the real or deal. So what I like to do, and this asparagus is relatively simple to put together. So, got a bag here of asparagus ears, and the way I like to do asparagus is I'll take some olive oil and salt and pepper. Again, relatively simple. We're going to put just a dab of olive oil on it. And this reminds me it's about time to buy some more olive oil. And if you like your asparagus seasoned, like I do, make it very flavorful and enjoyable to enjoy. So we want to take our salt and vegetables. I love doing the whole olive oil and salt and pepper. Just gives it right flavor and a crisp taste. So now we're going to put pepper. And what I like to do to the asparagus is I like to start up a little bit. And I'll see if I can get a good angle of me doing this. Just like that. And you want a little bit of a loaf pan. You don't want a big pan. Don't want to overdo it. You want about a good pan just like that to cook your asparagus in. And make sure when you cook, get some fresh asparagus from the grocery store or the farmer's market. You want to have it cut about that perfect length. This is a good perfect size length of asparagus. So we're going to take it and we are going to kind of blend in the olive oil and salt and pepper. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that in. Our oven is set to 400, so we're going to go ahead and get this started. So now we got our asparagus cooking, potatoes are getting close to done. So at this point, I think we're ready to go fire up the grill. So let's go. Okay folks, so we're out here at the grill. And the grill is fired up and ready to go. So I think at this time, we're going to have some ribeyes. What do y'all think? Let's join on the fun. So, I'm going to put the grill over here just for y'all's expectations, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing here, folks. Set up, and we're going to take our nice marinated steaks that have been sitting out for a couple of hours now. They look really good. Take a look at these bad boys here before I put them on the grill. Don't they look delicious? Alright, let's get busy. And what I like to do, we're going to keep the heat down. We want to keep the heat down as much as we can. We don't want to cook them too high. We want to cook them just right. It's the tricky thing about a gas grill is you never know what you're going to expect out of it. I'm just going to pour some of this juice over. We may save it just for a minute. Let some of this juice cook onto the steak. We'll leave that sitting out here. So as you can see, our steaks are cooking very nicely. So just a few minutes, we're going to keep an eye on them, and we're going to put some bread on top of here. Alright folks, so we just took a flip of our steaks. They're cooking nicely right now. Just kind of have an update on what we're doing. Man, these things are cooking so nice. There's some big ones too, if I might say. So what we're going to do now, before we put the bread on, let's add a little bit of the juice onto these steaks. We add some to the top of the steak, so now at the bottom, just to keep things cooking nicely and smoothly. Now gas grills are very tricky to cook. I prefer cooking my steak on the charcoal, but my wife is a big steak eater on the gas grill. So what we'll do, we'll just kind of pull them over just like that. You want to keep it nice and moist as long as you're able to. So that's cooking nicely. We're going to have a check-in. So in just a second, what we're going to do now is we're going to be putting some barbecue bread on top of the grill. And what we want to do is we want to put it onto the top rack of the grill so it will take a little bit less time to cook. And we want to do this near the tail end of these steaks. I'm going to give another flip. Actually, we will put our bread on in just a minute. It looks like they can cook just a little bit longer. So we'll come back to this in just a second. Okay folks, I just pulled off my steak. Now I prefer on how you like it. You may want to check it during the operation, but I usually give about 5 minutes aside, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes if you want a medium rare like I do, you know, less time. So at this point, I'm letting my wife and my daughters cook a little bit longer. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and put the rolls on since we're getting near completion. And I'm going to put these on the top rack. And this will make it for some nice grill flavored bread. And we want to try to leave a little bit of a toast mark, of a grill mark onto the roll. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to put one by one on here. We're going to put that this side. We'll put just like that. And then you may want to flip it too during the process. So we're going to let these two cook and we'll be right back. Okay folks, so we got our steak right here, we got our ribeye, our baked potato, and let's have a try and see how everything turned out to be. Alright, we got our dinner here. So let's see how well we did tonight with this. A piece of it off. Really good. Let's try a little bit of the asparagus. I had a little piece of it right here. Really good. Folks, this is an easy Saturday night dinner. Pretty weather, pretty day like today. Dive into it. If you hadn't subscribed to my YouTube channel, or if you have not liked our Facebook page, please do so, as I would love for this to grow and see what opportunities could be out there. So again, next time folks, has been Patrick, and this has been another edition of me at the 313 Grill and Kitchen. God bless and have a good night.